Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Cara's Knitting Corner, my knitting podcast about, well, obviously knitting, but also about everything else that I'm crafting on, as well as pattern designs that I have coming out and other fun stuff. I had planned to record a bit sooner than this for the second episode, but I sadly got sick and had to actually go to hospital because I had appendicitis and I had my appendix taken out. So that kind of threw a wrench into my plans, and now I am here, I think 4 weeks after the first episode, where I had planned to record after only 2 weeks, which I'm very sorry for, but I hope that from now on it's a bit more regular. I want to thank every one of you that watched the first episode. That made me so happy to have people watching and commenting and liking the video, and just knowing that someone wants to listen to what I'm working on is really nice. Any of you that have watched the first episode will probably remember the project that I was working on last time, which is actually something that I finished and I'm wearing now. So this is my only finished object this week, or this time, because I didn't have a lot of knitting time even though I was homesick. This is my April cardigan by PetiteKnit. This is what it looks like. I really like this shoulder shaping. It's really nice. I like this technique a lot. And here are the buttons that I showed you last time. And I'm really surprised how well it fits, because after I finished knitting it, it looked a bit small. Like the sleeves were quite short and they're just a centimeter short of being perfect in my opinion. But they were only going to like here after I finished knitting it before blocking. And also it seemed quite tight, but blocking does a lot, so I trusted in it. And I'm really happy. The only thing that I would have maybe done differently is use one more button, but I did it exactly like to the pattern, and I feel like it's a bit far apart, but it's fine. Like there's a slight bit of gaping, but I think it's all right. And I like how it looks. I like the color a lot, which is Wollmeise DK is the yarn, and the colorway Gloire de Dijon. I'm happy when I don't need to pronounce the French anymore. Yeah, and this was a really fun project. I think I had already quite a lot finished last time. I think I only had to do the sleeves maybe. So yeah, I'm really happy to have that finished. And I also have some pattern stuff that I wanted to talk about. No new pattern that is out. I had planned to release a pattern right about now, but I couldn't start the test knit because I was sick. So it's all happening a bit later now, but I've started 2 test knits in the last couple of days. One is for something that you haven't seen before, and that is the Sunburst socks. This will be a colorwork sock pattern. Focus, yes. And you can see there's this really nice colorwork chart with like what looks to me like a sun bursting and a lot of stars in the sky. This is the version with the sun going down. And you see here I did this actually was knit by my mom. The ribbing is knit in the contrast color. And she also made the second sock already. She had more knitting time than me because she wasn't sick. Yeah, and this is the other version where the sun is going up. And you can see she did the ribbing here in the main color, and it's only the chart that has a contrasting yellow color. So these are in testing right now. I might link the Ravelry testing group in the description box if anyone of you maybe wants to join in. But this will be coming out soon. And also the pattern that I showed you last time, the Ruched Socks, which I showed you one finished project for. And my second version is quite a lot further along. You can see these. These are also now in testing. So that's also a knitting progress for myself. Last time I showed you, I think I had only just started this sock, which I finished. And I've also started the second sock and just past the ruched like texture detail. Maybe you will focus. And this time I did the texture for longer and started also right after the ribbing. And I hope that this will now be finished very soon because I had already planned on having it finished. But plans are just plans and not set in stone, so life happens. But these were also like a work in progress for me. These were knit in Wollmeise Twin in the colorway Seamus. And I also have some more socks that I've been working on when I visited my grandparents over Easter before I got sick. I wanted to have some like really simple knitting while sitting in the car and talking to them and stuff. So I cast on some Squircle socks. First one is finished. And Squircle is a really interesting sock pattern, and it has this really crazy heel construction. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, so if you want to try it out, just have a look. And you will, instead of doing a normal heel, you just knit like this garter band, which maybe, yes, focused on it, which is really long. And then you will cast on stitches there and also have this like long line of decreases going down. And they look very odd. They're a bit more wonky shaped than a normal sock, but they fit amazing. I've already knit a pair of this pattern. And they're really nice for doing like leftovers. This is a bunch of like 25-gram minis that I got in an advent calendar last year. Like an advent calendar swap where we swapped Wollmeise Twin colors. And you can see that I chose these different colors that kind of make a fade. Not quite, it's a bit of a choppy fade, but I really like them and they are very fun summery colors in my opinion. And at some point the weather is supposed to be getting warmer. And when that happens, I will be happy to wear these in the evenings when it's a bit chilly. And I have started the second sock, and I would have had it finished if I hadn't gotten sick. But it's good, like, driving knitting, and I will take it back to uni with me once I can go again next week. So I'm happy to have these finished soon, but they're really, really nice. And that's also Wollmeise Twin, and I know that this colorway is Herzblut. This one is Gioia. This one is something Daisy. I will have to maybe take a look. It's just Daisy. Just Daisy. I'm a bit forgetful. And this one should be Pistazie, which means pistachio. And you can see it picks up the green from here quite nicely. So yeah, that's my second sock project that I was working on. But I also cast on a new sweater once I finished this April cardigan here. And that is one that I had wanted to knit since before it came out. I applied for the test knit, but didn't get in sadly, which totally fine, I get it. Sometimes you can't accept everyone to the test. And now that it's out, I bought the pattern and I am knitting the Corran cardigan, which is by Rebecca Clow, who many of you will maybe know as Creabea on YouTube. She has a really, really lovely knitting podcast that I like to watch every now and again. And I think this is the wrong side, which is hard to tell here. But you can see I cast on and began working in the like texture pattern, which is really simple. And I'm a bit worried, there's not a lot of stitches in the ribbing, but it's really stretchy, so it should be totally fine. Yeah, and this is also Wollmeise DK, so the same yarn that I knit this sweater in. But this time, I think it's the colorway Ahoi. It's Ahoi. Actually, I have the label this time. Yeah. Ahoi, which is kind of something you say when you go to sea. And it's a really nice, like, sea blue color. And it's enjoyable knitting. I took it to the hospital with me. Didn't work on it though, but I enjoy working on it and hope to have it finished at some point for the summer because it's more of a summery cardigan. And I also have some really nice buttons for it. These like turquoise, kind of bluish mother of pearl buttons. So I will use these on that cardigan. And I have also worked on one of my older projects that I work on every now and again and then put it to the side again. This is a fun bag that someone on Ravelry has made for me at some point in a swap, I think. And it's really large because there's a lot of yarn in it. This is the Granny Hexagon Cardigan. I don't know if you've seen this on Instagram or even on TikTok I've seen it, which is weird because I don't see a lot of knitting and crochet on my TikTok personally, but some crochet makes it. This is a cardigan that you work up in like 2 hexagons and they form this weird shape, and one of these sides will become a sleeve, one of them will become the body of the cardigan, and this is almost finished, the first half. And then you can imagine me wearing it like this making a bit of a longer sleeve on it. And I have to do the whole second side, and then I have a nice cardigan. So this is really enjoyable crochet. I don't crochet a lot, but sometimes I like it because it's, I don't know, I can't do it blindly like I can knitting, but it's different on the hands, and for some reason I wanted to do it when I was sick at home. It was the only thing I worked on like a little bit. And I like this because I can use a lot of like single skeins of DK that I had lying about. The pinkish one is Wollmeise, but I'm not sure which color. I have it written down somewhere. I need to look it up. And then there's, I think this is Ushitita DK and a purple colorway that I'm not sure about. And there's some more Wollmeise DK in the dark purple here. And these are also different hand-dyed DK. They're all hand-dyed DKs that I had like single skeins of, and that I thought I could really nicely use up and make this cardigan, which I think will be really nice and warm. And it uses a 5mm crochet hook, which no clue what letter that is in the British or American system, but I will put it in the like show notes if I remember. But it's really nice and really simple to work on. And that's actually all of my works in progress. I didn't get as much knitting done as I had hoped, but I still feel like I have at least a bit to show, and I'm happy that I finished this cardigan. And also now I will have a bit more knitting time because the concert that I told you about last time is over. I managed to sing in it and do the weekend of practicing before it, even though I already had a bit of a like stomach ache, but I went and I made it, and I'm very happy. It was a lot of fun in the end, even though quite exhausting. And then I went to hospital the next week and have been at home for a while now, but that's all over, and now I'm going back to the normal uni and working. Hopefully, I really hope it's getting less stressful in the next couple of weeks. And one special thing I wanted to say is there's this sale, the Wollmeise sale. So for any of you that are in Germany, Wollmeise has a shop in Pfaffenhofen, which is where they're based, and they have a really big sale in summer once a year. That's happening at the beginning of June, and I will be going. So I'm gathering all my yarn money that I was planning to go for a year since the last sale, which I didn't manage to go because I had too many exams, but this year I can go. My mom is going with me. We're driving down to Bavaria and sleeping at a relative's, which is really, really nice because that means no money to spend on hotels or something, and instead more money to spend on yarn, which I don't need yarn, but whoever needs yarn, you buy it because you want it. And I'm really happy to go. And if any of you, even though you're watching the English version of this podcast, if any of you want to like say hello, I will be there on the Friday and Saturday. I think it's the 2nd and 3rd of June. It's right when the sale starts. And I hope to see some other like Wollmeise fans and knitty people. And it will, I think, be really, really nice to go. A bit of a shorter episode this time because of circumstances, but I hope you enjoyed seeing what I have been knitting on. I will link everything down in the show notes, which you can find in the description box, and I will also put the little banners here, which I managed to figure out last time, so that made me quite happy. And I'm happy to see you again, hopefully in only 2 weeks next time, not such a long time. Have a great day.